Hi, it's Ladine from Hooks and Book Studio. Welcome back to my channel. So, kit one is done. Here it is. It was a lot of fun to do. I really enjoyed I kind of liked how it went from a circle and then to a square. This extra piece here is actually the start of kit two because I was sitting there, didn't feel like doing this video yet, but wanted to get started on it. So yeah, it's really kind of coming together very nice. Um, I have all of this yarn left from kit one, which they tell me to keep because I will need it later. They give you enough yarn for the whole blanket, but there wasn't like very much of this cream color in this kit, so there must be more in another kit. And then kit two has very different colors in it. Um, Yeah, this aquamarine is where it started with this new color, but it's very different. So it's got a lot of different colors in it, so it's going to be fun. So this is how it all came together. So now we're on to kit two. What I liked about kit two is it's going to be very different in terms of the stitches and the work that's done, because if you can see here, and this first piece I've done, there's this little bit of a end here. And what I went ahead and like looked at the pattern to see what's going to happen, and this is actually going to turn into a triangle. So there's going to be four triangles that are going to rotate this kit one into a different shaped square. So it's really going to be fun, I think, for me to do that. Now, what they're telling me to do in the pattern is to do each row and then go back and then do the next side and then the next side and then the next side. But as you can see, I'm kind of a rebel here. I'm doing all of this row and then all of the next row and all the next row. It's just because I'm already working with that stitch and it's just easier to keep going. But the one thing I don't like are these. I do not like ends. As you can see, I weave my ends in as I go, except for this little space here because it was this kind of lacy look. So this end I am going to have to do in at the end. But one end, as opposed to 15 different ends, is a lot different. I do not like to go back after I'm done, and I think I've already said that, and redo those ends. The other thing is there are a couple different stitches in here that I do a different way than what the pattern called for. I did watch the video just to see how they would have done it, and I still think that my way was better. Um, the middle is always on these type of granny square um, type of patterns really bothers me because they like you to either use a chain and then you connect the chain to make a circle. I like to use a magic circle so that it doesn't matter how tight that center circle is. I can adjust it because I can pull the tail and make it as tight or as loose as I want to. Um, so that's an interesting thing. I think at some point I may do some stitch tutorials, but so those are two things that I did very different than the pattern. In kit one was I did a magic circle and I'm working in my ends as I go along. And in kit two, I'm already starting off being different where I'm doing each row as I do it instead of as the pattern calls for me to do. So it's really a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this. And I think this morning I've decided who is going to get this one, but I'm not going to say it right now. Um, because if I do what I think I'm going to do, it's going to be a Christmas present for somebody. Even though they may be watching these videos, paying attention to what I'm doing, I think the surprise of who gets it will still be a surprise to that person. So it's been a lot of fun. and I'm looking forward to kit two, and I will take you through that as well. I think probably the hardest part of this kit for me was, knowing the difference between treble, front post trebles, and um, front post doubles, and then front post half double crochets. So, you know, in these stitches here like this, and then like in down here, you're actually working in two rows below to pull the colors up. So these are all different lengths. So a double, then a treble, and then there was a double treble. I think that the double treble was up here. So yeah, those I had to kind of go, I had to watch the video just to make sure I was doing it right, because I had never done a double treble crochet stitch before. So I like these kits because they also give me a lot of different experience with different stitches, and it's just a lot of fun for me. Um, I also wanted to tell you that although I didn't figure out what's going to happen with Meg and Jake in the next story, I have the whole plot line together. I talked about in my last video about going back and reading some of my earlier books in order to see if there was some way to really get into this without it being kind of like, how can I say it? Without it being inauthentic to my characters. I just didn't want it to be like, oh, here she goes, it's the same plot line. I like to mix things up. So I did find a character in the first book who is a very minor character. I almost forgot she existed. Who is going to really at least get the ball rolling in this fourth book in the series. So I'm really excited. I like it when I start writing and the characters kind of take me where I never expected I would be. So that's it for today. If you've liked this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can catch the next video, or at least kit two, so that you can see how this blanket comes together. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on the next video.